Thank you very much. A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the three key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin-Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel. And God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sleeper cells in the homeland to be activated. Experts we spoke to said that should the U.S. join these attacks on Iran, they may try to activate these sleeper cells. Kelly.
Iran's operatives in the U.S. will strike.
So you think we need to understand and remember that you've got Iranian operatives in the United States right now?
Yes.
One coming out today, White House is currently monitoring possible Iranian sleeper cells in the United States. Here's another one that came out. Trump administration boosts monitoring of possible Iran-backed cells in the U.S. as Trump weighs strikes. Highly vulnerable Iranian supreme leader may try to activate sleeper cells in the West as Israeli onslaught mounts, experts warn. So FBI sleeper cell warning list coming out, this back in 2023. The first one is Washington, D.C. They know there are sleeper cells in Washington, D.C. all throughout New York. There's so many in New York. There's no specific locations, just the entire state of New York has sleeper cells. San Francisco, California, Santa Clara, California, Los Angeles, California, San Diego, California, Houston, Texas, Arlington, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Boca Raton, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Orlando, Florida, Tampa, Florida, Boston, Massachusetts, Playfield, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, Cleveland, Ohio, Laurel, Maryland, Potomac, Maryland, Harridan, Virginia, Springfield, Virginia, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Charlotte, North Carolina, Detroit, Michigan, Columbia, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, Denver, Colorado, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Tucson, Arizona, and Seattle, Washington.
Iran has also.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 20. Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, that he hath taken against Edom, and his purpose that he has purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory, and all worship unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, who still rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, and safety unto the Lord's elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth, mainly in America, pushing this word in humility and sincerity as commanded by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. This is a statement from Donald Trump. It says, we have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not a military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So as you all know, Donald Trump in the United States of America has done exactly what he just said over the past 24 hours. Sometime yesterday, which I believe was overnight in Iran, they executed these airstrikes and destroying the nuclear sites. And then I also pinned the video where that podcaster or truther or whatever he is was explaining that Iran is looking to activate sleeper cells within the United States of America. Okay. And you see a lot of you people out there, you hoped and you prayed to Jesus, and you prayed and you hoped some more that these things would not happen. But we told you, we warned you, beginning with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. We've been warning you that these things were Bible prophecy and they're going to come to pass. And it's not going to be good for America and the people who do not believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. It's not going to be good for you. Okay? Now Trump is calling for peace. The scripture says this. I'm going to come back to that and get a quick precept. Because this is the devil that you're dealing with. He'll bomb you and then turn around and say, after we done bombed you and destroyed your shit completely, now it's time for peace. Well, hold on. I can't get my lick back? Just like the Israelis, they started this whole thing by attacking Iran first because they believe Iran is developing nuclear weapons. Because according to the so-called white man, he's the only one that can have nuclear weapons. But clearly, he's not responsible with these weapons because he continues to attack nations first. And if he just suspects you to do something that he don't like, then he's going to attack you with his weapons. This is why the Heavenly Father is coming to annihilate you and your sword that he blessed you with. When you read the scriptures, Esau was blessed with the sword pursuant to Genesis, the 27th chapter. Esau became the progenitor of the nation of Edom, which in the Hebrew is Adawam, which means red, because their blood shows forth through their skin. That's why He was called, well, that's not why he was called red. That's why he was called Esau. Esau means Ashashwa, which means wasted away is he, because he had no melanin and his blood showed forth through his skin. But he was called Edom because he liked red meat. So you tell me who Esau Edom is today. It's the so-called white man. Now this is 1 Thessalonians 1 verse 5. It says, but of the time and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Now, I'm reading that because Donald Trump said now is the time for peace. But that reporter said that Iran is looking to activate the sleeper cells that Joe Biden let in this country. And this is what we're referring to when we tell you that one of the mottos of the elites, of the elite banking families, to push forth their agenda, the small hatters to push forth their agenda, is Ordo ab chaos, order from chaos. So when these sleeper cells are activated, let's look up the definition of a sleeper cell. Let me see. I'm gonna get the Merriam-Webster. What is a sleeper cell? Sleeper cell. A terrorist cell whose members work under cover in an area until sent into action. So you have people that are in this country that work for the enemy, and they're waiting to be sent into action. Second Ezra, chapter 15, verse 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. Meaning they're going to be, that violence is going to be activated. It's going to be initiated. One people is going to stand up to fight against another with swords in their hand. It says, for there shall be sedition among men. Sedition means an uprising against an authority of government, and invading one another. Invading means to penetrate one's personal space or private property in a hostile manner, in a hostile and violent manner, with intent to be violent, to do harm. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And now you got people saying, well, I don't support Trump anymore, and this and that, because they realize that Trump is a puppet for the Israelis, for the international banking families, for the Elisa Edom, the Rothschild, the Rockefellers, so on and so forth. He is a puppet. He is just a front man. Okay? He probably not even calling these shots as far as these airstrikes go. There's somebody else that's making these things go down. But as a whole, the nation of Edom is going to be punished. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Yes, because he gave you the list. He listed, he even said the city that I'm in, Cleveland, Ohio. So there are Iranian sleeper cells, and you got a lot of Iranians, Palestinians, Pakistanis in America, in Cleveland, I should say, at these different corner stores and bodegas, and So yes, you have Iranian sleeper cells in Cleveland, Ohio. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Scriptures also say they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Second Ezra 16:70, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. You're going to have sleeper cells. You're going to have martial law troops. You're going to have foreign troops. All of these things is going to be happening at once. And what is going to restore order? That MOTB. It says they shall be like madmen, sparing none, kicking in doors, okay, carrying out T attacks, okay, mass casualty events, false flag events. This is what's going to bring in that MOTB. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord, which is you Israelites. You the ones that fear the Lord in this nation. Nobody else.